Hello, and welcome to Magic Myths and Mayhem, a TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and GM, and with me are Rowan, Mark, and Joe, my wonderful players.
Who?
How is everyone doing today? Yeah, I think there might have been a typo.
Wait,
oh no, there's just a mark
second?
on my script. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Well, we all know that we need at least 3. What?
What? It's a lie.
Who's that?
Nothing. I wasn't.
Someone's infiltrated the call.
Oh, God!
Elsewhere.
They're old. No, sorry. I've lost myself a little bit. How are you all doing
I've been at sea, but I've been
on this fine evening?
tremendously exciting in an excitingly tremendous way.
The night and the rain is in my eyes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm alright.
you're good. Yeah, good. You're actually going to be very helpful to the beginning of this episode because you see, unfortunately, it appears there is one person missing.
Who?
Well, I can't remember, but I think Joe might be able to inform us.
Well,
have
Simon's
other
not
players?
here because he hasn't been here for quite a while.
It's been
If you're only
quite a
now
while.
noticing Alex, that's pretty poor. Don't really know what to say about that. Purdy isn't here as well.
Who?
Purdy, as we know, suffers from a little bit of FOMO. I think it's fair to say that. She would admit to that. I don't think that's out of turn to say.
I don't think Purdy would admit to anything.
I mean, she has said in a recording of this very show that she has FOMO. She most often says it when she's here because she's ill, and we've told her not to.
Yeah.
But while Mark gains culture by traveling around the world as a man of means, the rest of us have to make do with things like film and television. So myself and Rowan recently delved into the world of French cinema with the 2024 adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, directed by Mathieu Delaporte and Alexander de la Patelière. 100% not how you pronounce their names, but I don't know how to pronounce French things. I was talking to Purdy about this because I think it's a fantastic movie, and she got a bit jealous that she'd missed out. Where she is today is she is also attempting to delve into classic French films, or films that should be classic. Unfortunately, Purdy's taste in in movies is a bit different to ours. So she's just watching dubbed versions of not French movies. So she's watching The Cat in the Hat featuring Mike Myers, Birdemic, The Room, and Catwoman. But the French dubs of them.
I should do.
So we'll see how cultured she is when she comes back.
Ah oui, je parle le français très bien parce que je avais le O-level.
You know, after watching The Count of Monte Cristo, I'm pretty sure that was flawless pronunciation of
I
French
think so.
language.
I think that's exactly how certain areas of French. I'm going to move on. So we have a rich French. That was one of those where I was just like, it doesn't really matter anymore. I just need to stop and move on.
French.
We have a recap. So go. Go.
It won't.
I can't go. I'm just
It
too
won't.
excited to be here.
It simply won't.
I went before I came.
It's refusing. It's wholeheartedly. You see me clicking this?
I see you clicking
Rowan, I
it.
think you need to click on it.
Hello?
Have you tried
turning
clicking
it
it?
off and on again?
Rowan. Okay, okay, what you need to do, I think, is click on it.
Have you tried clicking on it? That could work sometimes.
You might have to close Spotify.
Turn it off and on again.
This is all the recap, by the way, pre-recorded.
Yes.
The Spotify application is not responding.
Oh, well, that's probably why then.
Yeah, that'll do
Probably
it.
why it's not working.
I'm gonna try to play it now.
Have you tried clicking it?
I have to say, compared to some of them, it is less gripping.
How strange.
Oh wait. Let's all react as though we're hearing what we're hearing. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, Sarah sounds great. She's
Wow. Oh,
Okay, to alleviate this problem, what I shall do instead
you're going to
is
play it, aren't you?
just read it out again.
I won't play it. I will just put it in the DMs, and all of y'all can. We can just press play at the same time. Is everybody ready and hovering over a play button?
I am hovering
Start
in
from 72, please.
Yeah, in 36s.
And a one. And okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Come in. Ah, the Metafel. Is that the report? Yeah. Wonderful. Right, let's just have a look. The Metafel? Yeah? I have to ask. Yeah? What in the almighty fuck is this? What do you mean? Well, I seem to recall asking for a report on the latest doings of the party in question. Yeah? Well, it appears that instead of that, you have handed me the inane scribbles of a 100-year-old child. I don't understand what you mean. You don't understand? All right, let's have a read through, shall we? They were in that cave place with the dead people and whatnot in it. Well, they were. They were done going exploring and stuff, and also had to fight some wind thing like some kind of elemental or something. Yeah? Then they looked at that weird map thing or something and found some more dead people but in the walls or whatever, 'cause like the map they had was like a cutout of the map they had. Right, yeah? Oh yeah, and they found the other adventurers, like dead mostly, except one of them was kind of alive, I think. Exactly. Zemerafel, I want you to know that I'm going to be nice with what I say next. You are in fact the most idiotic and simultaneously useless god that exists in all of the heavens. Alright, thank you, boss. No, that wasn't it. Never mind, just get out of here. Alright, boss. You just can't get the staff these days.
That was very good. That was very good.
I've heard of them before. I've put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You know, it is very sort of old. It's exactly the kind of humor. I knew this would go exactly to Dad's humor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought it was hilarious.
So, we start our episode in a small cave underneath a church. Monty,
Right.
you just saw what you could have sworn to be the ghostly figure of your mother walk through the wall and followed through the wall.
I don't know how I followed through the wall, but I did.
You find yourself in an odd mixture of certain parts of your own memory, almost like fragments have been pulled in sort of a ghostly visage in front of you, not creating an entire room, very much a little bit of, you know, when you were 7 over there, and a little bit of when you were 12 over there. But in all of this, straight ahead of you, you once again see your mother traveling away. Only the back of her head, you do not see her face. I'm going to assume in this, of course, you are following, traveling, trying to catch up, working out what is going on here.
I say.
As you traverse through an old hallway of a house you had when you were younger, traveling around a corner when it opens up into a field, once again pulled from memories with your family. This continues for a while, very Alice chasing after the rabbit as you go through, over and around. Nothing solid in terms of full memories, just fragments being brought all the way to the point of seeing something that isn't necessarily your own memory. You start seeing snippets and parts of what you can only assume to be the adventures that your parents had been on. Things you have never seen before, but perhaps been described, leading up further and further until they get older and older, until eventually the worst of the worst. The final moments that you have never seen before. You've barely even been described them before. A curious part indeed. But in all of this, despite the events occurring, you can still follow your mother, who once again traverses through memories through a wall, at which point, if you follow,
I follow.
You follow straight into another cave. Rather oddly, it's a slightly larger cave, maybe 15 feet wide, and the general appearance is not the same as it was before. This is a much more natural cave you are in, except that in the walls are many layers of dead bodies, like a catacomb.
Bodies or skulls or skeletons?
Skeletons and bodies in obviously a lot of them very old, in wrappings and such. Old bodies like catacombs. In front of you, you see 3 figures. The three of your crew. All looking into the corner of a room. A corner of this cave, having supposedly just retrieved a shard of obsidian that they are currently looking at as they stand in front of you, as your corporeal self, or should I say your incorporeal self, becomes corporeal once again.
So from my point of view, it's been how long?
For you, it's been...
Yeah, it's been...
no more than maybe 10 minutes of this travelling through memories, going through your lifetime.
So I presume I would come out of the wall and look around for my mother's ghost.
You do not see anywhere.
Because that would be the first thing on my mind. So I'd just say, chaps, did you see where she went?
Captain? What the hell?
Did you see where she went?
It's been 18 years. Where have you been?
Eh?
Oh, hi, Captain. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, well, nice to... Where the hell are we?
Oh, did my new friend up at on the surface not give you directions down here?
Well, I came down here with you, in fact. What are all these bodies on the walls?
Oh, well, we're in a crypt.
We left you in the town of Ethia, right?
I thought we were... So we're not in the town of Ethia?
We're not in the town of Ethia anymore. We're further downriver.
You've been gone for a few days.
Not again.
Upriver. Downriver.
Where are we?
Whatever. I can't remember what this place is. We're in a tomb under some lank. Lank?
You are outside of Ithrin.
Oh, that's why I forgot, because it sounds almost just like Ethia.
We were doing something that I thought that you would have been quite proud of us for. There was this guy, and he asked for help. So we're helping him in exchange for material goods.
Yes, for you, that's very good. Very good.
He did say that we could have anything we find down here, so that was kind of the motivation.
What help did he need?
Well, we've rescued one of his party. The rest were all dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you didn't kill them at all?
No, we did loot their bodies, though.
That's...
I'm not aware of having killed them.
As you say this, Niffy says,
Speaking of, I think it might be worth checking on that guy at the entrance.
and wanders off back to the entrance.
All right, well, we're gonna finish looting.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
Oh, well, there goes our navigator. Guess we're stuck down here.
So this chap you met, he wanted you to find his companions, is this
Yeah.
accurate?
Oh yeah, so he came down here. He and them, they're adventuring types, the more legitimate ones. You can tell because they're not very good. So there was
yes.
bubbles coming up from this lake. So they went down to this crypt, which is underneath the lake, and they got attacked by something which we've since killed.
Oh right.
It was like an invisible thing.
Okay.
And now we found out that there's all of these hidden little rooms in here.
I see. I think.
Yeah, take a look at this map.
So now we're going around finding the little hidden rooms and stuff.
Pesto shows you what you see in the chat that you went, what the heck is this? Which appears to be, as you can see, some outlines. They've put marks all over it, sort of circling bits and pieces, but you can see it's these vague outlines, perhaps showing the rocky outlines of caverns with little red dots in them.
So what we've discovered is that or at least what we've found so far, has been pertaining to the negative space inside of the cavern. So it's in the walls rather than in the paths.
I see, I think.
To clarify, one you found like that, the one you just found was the shape that was on the extra piece of paper you have, is actually the shape of the cavern that you're currently standing in.
Oh, I see.
Huh?
I think.
Yes, it's the big one in the middle that did have green but now been black scribbles is actually the shape of the cavern bit that you're standing in, not the negative part.
Rotated 90 degrees that way.
Yeah.
I see.
But that was something that
There were words there, and I swear it was almost English. So I'm looking at the map with it, which is the second map. With it.
Yes, I've just put them both on here for convenience.
on
So
books.
those small ones on the right-hand side, Mark, are indicators of where these little rooms are. So we've done a bunch of scribbles on the right-hand side one.
Yeah, that makes more
Corresponding
sense.
scribbles
Okay.
on the left.
I
Now
am
I know
still
what
very
you're talking
lost, just as I was last time we played.
So these ones on the right are at funny angles, but are the same shape as some shapes on the map on the left.
Gotcha.
So
you,
they might either be negative space, or they might
or
be
positive space.
positive
Gotcha.
space. For
We-
lack of a better
we've-
word.
Yeah.
Which
So-
ones have we gotten, Alex? We've gotten the one that we were just looking in the hole
So
of, and
the
the penis
ones-
tip one, right?
The ones you've got are the ones that have been the black has been scribbled over. So the one that's top left,
We don't have the
which
penis
is the,
tip.
which is the yellow one, and you've
Yeah.
got the one which is in the center, which was the green X.
I
Yeah.
think the last thing we were doing was the penis tip.
No,
because
the
we thought
first
it
thing
was
you did.
here.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first thing you did was the one that you have called a penis, except you searched inside of the bodies and found nothing and then moved on because you at that
Well,
point weren't so sure
we
about the whole
didn't-
situation.
Yeah, we
Right,
didn't
right,
know
right.
what was happening.
Well,
So,
exactly,
right,
which is fine. I'm not,
yes.
this was not a point to mock you. This was a point of
No,
Don't
I-
mock us, Alex! How can you
Yeah.
be so mean?
So, Mark, to catch you up, we've had
Yeah.
2 different access points to hidden rooms. One of them was an illusory wall. The other
Yeah.
one, I think we just
It was an outline of a
levered
wall.
open like a secret door in a
Mhm.
wall thing.
And the penis tip bit, which has got the 2 little red lines on it. Well, it's accurate. Yeah.
It is.
The,
And Alex knew when he put it together. He saw it and was like, yeah, they're gonna say this.
that's where
It
Pesto.
doesn't mean it's not funny.
Yeah.
That's where Pesto is currently standing, right?
Yes,
At the
you
end of
did
the-
some amount of investigation of things, but it was 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember what you rolled. So you get a fresh reset and get to re-roll any rolls that you might have rolled
Yippee!
before.
I'm going to do that. That is a natural 15 plus my investigation, which is 8. Right? I did update those.
I think
So
I'm good at
that is-
investigation.
23.
I was going to say, I'm good at investigation, but
23.
Pesto is also very good at investigation.
So the first time, Pesto, you looked at this, you just presumed there might be something hidden on the bodies that you can see. But now, of course, you've had 2 discoveries that were inside of the wall, so you're looking a little more closely behind the shelves. Or should I say, the bodies that were up there, I think, have now been, like, dumped onto the floor, but
Yeah.
you're looking between the shelves. You notice relatively quickly that on the right-hand part of it, the right-hand red line that you've drawn on the map, the shelves, they don't look quite the same as the others. In fact, as you're looking more closely, you realize that it's almost as though, very hidden, there is a seam around the edge of each of these shelves now that the bodies have been removed.
Like a drawer?
Well, so the whole thing looks like a set of shelves, like is behind me. But there is, you see a seam around the edge, which in the other ones it wasn't. It's more like they were carved out. You try fiddling with it. Does it go up? No. Does it go down? No. Eventually, you realize it shifts backwards into the wall, as though you can push the actual shelf backwards.
Well.
Just the shelf, the whole bookshelf kind of thing.
No, just the shelves within the bookcase.
Like
Okay.
they're sliding into a slot.
Yes.
Like you're pushing the. Never mind. I was watching Mortuary Assistant and it reminded me of that.
Okay, you pushed one of them. There was a distinct sort of click noise as it went the whole way in. It is now unrecoverable. There's nothing to like grab onto to pull it out again.
That's
but
fine.
nothing
Push
appears
the
to
other
have
ones in.
happened. Sure. They all seem to be able to do the same.
assist. I will assist in some sign there as well.
Ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung.
As you do so, you push them all in, clunk, 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 5 in total. There's a slight, on the last one, there's a slightly louder, and then a ratcheting noise as they start coming out again, but not evenly. The bottom one comes out almost the whole way. The next one slightly less further out. The next one slightly less further out. The next one slightly less further out. And then at the top, a little hatch goes
Wonderful.
sideways. You just immediately scutter upwards. Okay,
Yeah.
could you please make me a constitution? No, I'm joking.
I can't always be unlucky, Alex, as much as you seem to want me to be.
Oh, can you? I'm in
beg to
control.
disagree.
if you're like setting it up, then I'm not unlucky. that means you did it.
That's true.
You enter into a small chamber. Maybe only 10 by 10, but slightly taller than the rest has been.
Oh.
In the center, oddly, is a door, a stone door in its own little door frame. It does not lead to anything other than the other side of the door, which you can easily walk around. Slumped up against the door is a skeleton. The skull is partially shattered, as though they were bashing it against the wall. No eyes remain. Obviously, it is a skeleton, but the right socket does in fact have, how to describe it, a milky opal type stone inside that looks almost like an eye in itself.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hey, Ozzy, I got a new eye for you.
Oh, sick.
I wouldn't put it in your head just yet, Ozzy.
As you look at it a bit longer, you can see, in fact, it does appear to be this milky opal. And it, in fact, has its own set of eyelids around the top and bottom of some kind of black iron. And as you look at it, the eye type thing itself seems to rotate around 180 degrees to look at you.
No. Never mind. I think it belongs to someone else.
Oh, but we are pirates, though.
And then every now and again, it blinks.
Okay.
None of the body moves, nothing else moves, just this little eye. And it doesn't track you after this. Once it's done its little movement, it appears to just stare forwards into nothingness. And every now and again, there's just a little as it blinks.
I'm going to use my mage hand.
Oh, probably good call.
And try and pick it out of the skull.
As your mage hand tries to grab it, it seems as though it's very difficult to get any kind of purchase on the eye itself.
I will shatter the rest of the skull with the hammer.
You're very carefully trying to pull it out. And as you do so, there we go, the whole skull just smashes into pieces.
There we go. Does that help?
Oh, is everything alright up there?
I'm not sure yet.
As this happened, it reveals that this is in fact a pendant. Attached to the sides of this opal are two sides of a chain, making it a necklace of sorts.
How'd this guy get a necklace in his head?
A really good question.
Oh, have you never bashed someone in the face with a sling? Like, most things can work well as a little handmade weapon.
Can't say I ever have done that, no.
Oh, it's fucking tip-top. I once saw a guy, he folded up like a magazine, and he stabbed a guy with it. I saw another guy get like a pencil, and then he got someone's head and went, and that went in that guy's house.
I have seen people do that a few times in the pirate bars.
Yes.
Like, it does happen.
They were saying something about their father. I don't really understand what the fight was about, but...
Well, one of them was a religious nut job. I think he was saying he was born again. And the other one was like a candle seller who snapped because he kept going on about his wicks. They were both jokers, really. Any other characters we can think of that have done that? Just those three for me.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's magical. So let's add that to the list of stuff to check out once we get back to the ship.
I would agree.
Oh, you found your magic pendant? Nice. What about that eye? Do you want to check it down?
The pendant was the eye.
Oh.
I'm going to have a look at... I'm looking at the door, which is standing in the middle here. Is it actually an openable door, or is it...
Are you trying to open it?
Is it a door frame with a door inside, is what I'm saying?
Appears to be.
It's
not like a modern door. It's a very old-fashioned stone door.
Check the doorknob for electric traps.
Yeah. I'm going to, first of all, listen at the door.
To clarify, you can see the other side of the door.
Oh, it's open?
No. It is just a door in a door frame, and
it's not
that is it
wall.
sitting in the middle.
I know what you mean, but I'm still going to listen at the door to see if what is on the other side is what I can see, or if it's a different other side.
Understand. Give me a perception.
I'm really confused by your description of this door.
Okay.
Imagine a door in the frame just standing in the middle of the room, so you can walk around it.
I am in the room is where the door is.
Oh.
It's just chilling.
What the fuck?
Like it's a centerpiece rather than a usable door.
Wait, is the door the magic item?
For our listeners, I stood in the middle of a room.
No, I think the audio will
Okay.
give that one away.
Right, I'm going to do the old percepzione.
Silly as possible.
I am hesitating for a moment because I can't remember my stats. Oh, never mind. I'll have to make it as I go along. Right, where's perception?
Don't we all?
True first edition D&D.
Exactly. I that was what it was like in the old days.
I think I'm really good at this stat, so I'm going to add +3.
Exactly. What's your perception this time? I don't know. Let's say.
I mean, to be fair, that's how you set up Daggerheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of good at this, so, you know. 14.
14.
You listen at the door and do not hear much of anything, except you could swear you catch the distant, faint calling of your mother's voice.
Again. Okay. I'm going to check the door for traps.
Wait, Mark, are you with us next week? Are you leaving already?
As far as I know, I'm with you next week.
As far as you know.
Alex
Exactly.
knows more.
Exactly. I'm going to check for traps. In fact,
Give me, I mean, that would have come under the perception. Give me an investigation, actually. Then.
Investigation, but I'm going to use my glasses, which give me something or other advantage.
Minute seeing.
18.
As you investigate, you discover not only is it not trapped, you couldn't even open this door. It is like a statue.
Ah, right.
A door frame and a door melded together as one, created from
As
one
one
piece
thing.
of stone.
I'll just, for the sake of argument, try turning the knob and see if it will turn.
There is no doorknob.
Okay, in that case, I'll try pushing it.
It feels as though it is, like I said, just a piece
Just
of
a lump of
solid
stone.
stone. And as you push it, you realize that a lot of degrading time has meant that if you did push it, you could just push the whole thing over, but that would be the entire door and door frame falling over.
I'm not going to do it. Right out.
Can I make an Arcana check? Actually, you know what? Detect magic.
Sure.
Do that first.
Yeah, I think you might have already had it going, but your detect magic, obviously the eye is magical, but not
The
magical.
door. No, the door's
No,
not.
Nothing else in here is magical, no.
The door's just a door.
This door appears to be made of door. Actually, no, this is the one time that's not the case. This door appears to be made of stone.
This is just a
Okay.
weird thing.
And I'm going to have a quick look around the skeleton, which is in case there's anything else to be found.
Yeah.
But,
It is a skeleton dressed in some what were maybe once nice clothes that are now rags.
nothing to find then. Lovely. All right.
And their skull appears to be shattered.
Yes, their skull is shattered.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, is everything alright up there?
Yep. Yes.
Yep,
We're coming back down now.
There's just a weird, non-magical door in the center of this room. It's really weird.
It is really weird.
Oh, do you want to take it with us?
Well, that was
Yeah, sure.
on the door.
Yeah, like, we could probably break it.
We could probably break it.
Well,
Yes.
we don't need to break it.
Right.
Let's just leave it.
We'll remember where it
Maybe something will enlighten us later on.
exactly. We'll make a note of where it is and move on.
All right, so there
If
are.
it's not magical, why is it weird?
Well, it's a door it doesn't go anywhere. It's just in the middle of the room.
And it's not really a door. It's more of a statue of a door.
There are 3 more things to find in here.
Excellent. You didn't happen to see a ghostly woman walking about the place, by the way, did you?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, in the last, since I just before I turned up, perhaps that sort of thing.
Can't say we did. Unless you're talking about Niffy. She's pretty pale. People could
nope.
classify her as a ghostly woman.
Pretty sure. But no, not to worry. Okay, so where to next, chaps? So which ones have you done? You've done the. We've now done the.
We've done the penis, we've done the middle one, and we've done the top left.
So the ones with the purple squiggles on.
Um,
done those yet?
Small purple
The
circle
one-
we haven't done, large purpley pink circle we haven't done, and teal lines.
I was going to say, the ones that you can see the colour properly are the ones that you haven't done. The others have been stripped.
Lovely. Tremendous. So where are they? Does anybody know where any of them are yet, or are we still looking?
Have we put some colour marks on? Okay, I think we've got the teal.
the only one we don't know about is the pink one, I believe.
Teal, yeah.
Let's check out the
So
teal
there's
one.
there are 2 pink ones, in actual fact.
Well, there's purple and then there's pink.
Really? Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. Yes, you're right.
Let's check out the teal one.
Yes. Let's check out. I'm still looking for where that is.
You go
May
over
I-
to
Yes.
this particular wall.
Investigate the area.
You can indeed.
I will assist.
Yippee! That is 24.
There is nothing immediately of particular interest in front of you, which is frustrating, of course, because you were fairly convinced that this would be the correct spot. And as you're looking at the bodies in front of you, trying to search in, within, looking for seals or anything, I don't know, make a joke about seals, or anything particularly obvious, you take a step forwards and realize a pebble shifts beneath your foot. Oh, that's fine, not a particular thing. But then it was one of those moments where a couple seconds later you're like, wait, that was weird. Something weird happened there. You look down and realize the pebble that shifted beneath your foot was not like you stood on a little pebble and it shifted. It was more like a button.
I intentionally press on this pebble button.
You search around, find where the hell was whatever I just stepped on, and press down hard on the button.
Ka-chunk!
It doesn't make a ka-chunking sound. In fact, it makes more of a sliding sound. As over to the left, you see, almost like a whack-a-mole, a piece of rock just goes whoop, outwards.
Somebody go press that one.
I'll walk over and I'll press that one.
You press down and you feel some resistance upwards, Pesto, on yours, but it doesn't force you upwards as the other one is pressed down. Shunk. And just over to the right of you, a third one goes. Zip.
Ozzy, go get that one.
All right.
You go over, you press it. It's on the floor, you have to like shove it in.
That's why I'm getting it wrong.
No, on the floor, there's a rock poking out.
All right. Okay.
You press down on it, and as you do, there's Pesto, you feel a very satisfying click sound. As a trapdoor beneath you completely opens and you just...
Pesto, you appear to have fallen down a hole.
Pesto, you fell almost like a slide rather than a proper fall. You're caught and slide downwards across rock. It's a little rough. It's more of like a sound.
Ouch.
As you land in another chamber.
Oh, do I?
Pesto, can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a chamber in here.
Any way of getting out again?
I mean, probably the way I came.
Before anybody else comes down, would you like to just check you can get back out again?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna look around.
You see in the center, very similar to the previous one, not a door, but an archway. You can tell that it was once very finely crafted. There is a term for it, but I forget what it is. It's one of those pointed archways you see it like in churches and such. I forget the particular term. I did know it at one point. There are runes and patterns all sort of carved into it, except it has fallen apart over time, and most of this design is crumbling away. There is a half-armoured skeleton slumped against one of the columns of this archway, their shield arms still raised as though protecting themselves from something, and their rusted breastplate bearing the faint etching of a holy crest. Similar to previous, you see something in one of the eye sockets. It appears to be some kind of bead of sapphire glass.
I still have my detect magic going, right?
Sure. I wasn't quite done there. I was pausing
sorry.
for drama. It is not, however, as large as the other was. It sits loosely inside of the socket, almost as though it was placed there rather than fitted inside. And it is obvious, as you get closer, that this is in fact a ring. The metal appears to be platinum, perchance, or something of that, but with a strange mixture up towards the jewel of some kind of bone. The outer face is carved with a skeletal hand, cradling the sapphire glass at the top.
Spooky.
Nothing at all worrying or dangerous about that.
Nothing at all.
It'll be fine.
Everything alright down there, buddy?
Yeah! There's a...
Can you actually get out again?
Yeah, 1 second. what do my magic guides tell me?
The ring is magical, but as with all of these other chambers so far, nothing else is.
Okay, the holy symbol is just a holy symbol.
It
I
appears
recognize
to
the
be.
holy symbol.
Give me a religion.
Judaism.
That is an 11.
An 11, it's probably an ancient god of some kind, certainly not one that has been seen for a while, but you do not recognize exactly what it would be.
Okay. I will nab the ring and the holy symbol.
Well, to clarify, I should say, the etching of a holy crest, it's etched inside of the armor. You wouldn't be able to... you could take the chest plate, but you couldn't take just the symbol.
I'm assuming it would be a pain to get off.
It seems that at some point it was attached by some kind of leather strap that has degraded over time. It wouldn't actually be that difficult. You could just pull it forwards.
Okay, I will.
It's large, unwieldy, and too big for you, but you could get it off and out.
Shove it in the bag.
I think it would be too large for the bag. Like a full chest plate, breastplate of armor.
Is it bigger than the, what's for the pauldron?
Oh yes, certainly.
Mm,
Wider, obviously thinner.
then I'll ignore it.
Sure. I mean, you would know that it isn't worth much, if anything. It's rusted.
I know, it was just interest. But
No, I know. Just in terms
the
of...
interest is
Pest-
not worth...
Listen, you can't blame me. Pesto is interested in value quite often.
Yeah, but I also know what things are valuable. I'll get on my little hoverboard and fly out.
Sure, it's simple. You could have clambered out. It wasn't too
I'm
steep
sure.
of a way, but yes, you appear out the top again.
Whoop! I got a ring.
Ah!
Oh, I see. You're drawn around the outside, and you're trying to fit it. That is, in fact, cheating, but I'll allow it to make this go a little faster.
What? How is that cheating?
Because this is not something you could do in the actual, in real life.
I also can't do magic in real life unless it's a rare instance.
It's
of
called
the ghost
suspension of
man.
reality.
It hasn't been very helpful.
I got this ring.
Oh, nice.
It's another thing. It's a very pretty sapphire.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right.
Okay, that's jolly good. So you didn't see a sort of woman or anything?
Nope.
No, it's right.
There was an archway, like the other room. There was an archway, but this one didn't have a door in it. It was just kind of like a. It looked like it was once a portal or something. It had a bunch of runes in it.
Did you say it was magical?
The ring is. Nothing else down there was.
Oh, what school of magic?
What school of magic was it? The ring. You know Alex hates this question, Joe. I cannot imagine why it matters right now. I think you're just
Well,
being rude.
it matters because maybe we were like not wanting to put it on, or to be more suspicious of things that might be cursed. Because identify doesn't tell us. If
So
it's
the
cursed.
thing that it doesn't specifically have a magical school, so I'll get there, don't worry.
Remember, I did not do this to you, Alex. I was just happy with the magical thing.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not annoyed. It's just I'm just confirming it.
You know what's especially interesting about that one you're trying to figure out right now, Joe? That's the only one where the point
Where it's in the middle.
Yeah.
So this will say a lot to Joe, but technically, I think the School of Magic would depend on whether we're using 5e or 5.24e.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I'm going to go with, because
No, it's a healing ring.
I prefer 5, it is necromancy.
Interesting.
It's a healing
Is it
ring.
there, Joe?
Maybe.
Is it there?
Maybe. I mean, these aren't. This isn't necessarily to size. But...
Yeah. Turn it 45 degrees or turn it slightly clockwise. That's it. Now make it smaller.
Like that.
Yeah.
That would appear to fit, for the most part. My drawing skills aren't perfect.
That may appear to fit for the most part, but then in that case, how the fuck do we get to the middle?
We have a look around the outside.
Let's finish the ones that we are fairly confident on. We'll go to the purple one.
Purple one.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, shall I just begin digging?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go with pesto for the moment.
You start digging into the rock. You have to get through the shelves of dead people first. And that crumbles away fairly easily, and you start digging through the rock behind before it appears that the swings of your adamantine pick are doing very little, or in fact perhaps nothing, to the rock that sits there.
Oh, I found a magic rock.
Well, that's nice.
I sure hope you didn't destroy anything we needed to get that magic rock.
No, probably not. I picked a space that I didn't find anything in.
Did you?
So, would you like to make an
That would have been
investigation?
his intention, but,
Yeah.
but we didn't roll for it.
Yeah, you didn't roll for anything. You just started fucking digging.
To be fair to me, you said you were just going to start digging, so...
Yeah, 22.
22. As you get over, the first and most obvious thing you see here is that the layout of these shells of dead people is slightly different. In a lot of the spaces, there's some variation around, but a lot of the places, there is just bodies. But you notice there is a gap almost. One of the shelves... one of the shelves is slightly wider, or should I say taller, and empty. Nothing else of particular interest there. With your 22, you then, as you're looking around, notice that with the 22, one of the skulls in the surrounding area just has a little X etched into it. It's obviously been
Edge has
carved
been
in.
here.
Edge has been. I'm going
He's
to.
been all over this place.
Yeah.
I'm going to investigate the skull to make sure it's not going to kill me, and then pick it up. No, actually, I'll use my mage hand again. I'll pick up the skull with the mage hand
You do so.
if I can. I'll place it on the unusual shelf.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Nothing appears to happen.
Okay, I'll move it around and place it on several different places on the shelf.
Nothing appears to happen.
Can I climb into
Okay.
that shelf that's larger?
Yeah, I mean, you're small enough to do so. It's very tight, very confined. You are now on a shelf.
Pesto on the shelf?
While they're doing that, I'm going to investigate. I'm going to investigate this skull.
Sure. Give me a roll.
And yes, I know that means touching it.
That's fine.
I would give you a roll. I would.
Sausage preferable. Others accepted.
Sausage. Aha! And the answer to your roll question, is a natural 20. We should make it
This skull,
23.
though very old, is completely normal apart from this X, which has been etched in a long time ago, but post-death. This isn't like a scar or a wound or any of that kind. It has been purposefully etched into the temple.
Okay. Apart from that's an ordinary skull. I'm going to look at the other skulls around and see if any other skulls have any marks
Sure.
on them.
Give me
like this.
another investigation. Or
Another
perception, whichever you wish.
I'm better at investigation. Which is 11.
11. You find another skull with a similar mark on, another mark on its temple. This time, a vertical line.
X and a line. Okay. Could be Roman numerals. Pesto, have a look around. See if you can see, you're good at these things. See if you can see any more skulls with these marks on them.
Sure. Just
Give me
keep
investigation.
investigating. Okay.
Sure.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. With the two of you, you over time discover a few. You've got the line, you have the X. You find one that appears to be a chevron pointing upwards. You find one that appears to be a right angle, so it goes up on the left and then across horizontally. You find another one that appears to be what could only be described as the shape D, and then another one that looks like a W.
IX, upside down V, LDW. Yes? Or IXV, LDW, possibly.
You're making assumptions.
IX.
You've got I, upwards pointing chevron, X, right angle pointing to the right, a D, and a W.
Now, if one were a Latin scholar, and if one turned the chevron and the W upside down, you'd have I, X, V, L, T, and W, which is 1, 10, 5, 50, 500.
The right angle is like this.
Oh, right, that's upside down as well then. So we've got 3 upside down ones and 3 the right way up ones. So I'm going to place them initially on the shelf. I, chevron, X, right angle, D, W.
Okay, you do so.
I imagine nothing happens
Nothing happens.
because it's too simple. I will turn upside down the chevron, the...
Do you let Pesto get out first?
No, I was going to just work random. It's the chevron, the right angle, and the W, so they're all the other way up. So it's now it says IXV LDW, except the other word would be it would be no, would it? Yep, it'd be backwards. Oh, it is now. I'll put it down wrong. So I'll turn those that I just mentioned upside down, so they're now IXV LDW, LDM. Sorry. Nope. In that case, it could be a number, in which case it would be MD, could be XL or LX, BI.
How do we know what we're trying to get at all, though?
I don't know. It's a number. It's
Is
Roman
it?
numerals. Yeah, with some of them upside down.
Would anybody else like to?
Besto, you're good at these things. Can you see any sign of like a number or somewhere where these skulls might go, or signs like this on the wall around here?
Can I investigate since I'm inside of it?
So I was going with perception because it's just like looking for these things. It's not. Investigate is usually like manipulating things.
I'll assist. No, I can't. I wouldn't do perception.
18.
How's it going down there, gang? Clang.
Bad. We have no idea what the fuck's happening.
Clang.
We're doing a bit of maths over here.
18.
I'll see.
You are looking at these skulls that have been placed in and realize that with the spacing, there's enough room to comfortably fit one more skull.
We're missing a skull. We're missing a skull. Pesto, does your head come off at all?
I feel like you know the answer to that.
Yes, I wasn't being entirely serious. I'm going to have another look at the skulls on the floor, because we're missing one. We're missing a skull here.
Give me another perception.
Ozzy, come over here and see if you can find a skull with a mark like this, like these have.
All right. I will have a look.
Come on.
I will
That's
assist you
14.
in looking if that is more convenient.
This is perception, isn't it? So if
I am quite good at perception.
that was cocked. It might be better to do it yourself, because I'm not
That's
that
right,
great
you're
at
rolling.
perception. So, no, I've rolled once. I've got 14. I'd rather you do it on your own rather than trying to assist me,
Yeah, sure.
because my perception isn't great. My investigation's not bad.
I got a natural 1.
Yeah, I got 14.
Your 14 is enough that you do find skull with a C on it. It's just a shame
That's 100.
that it is a fraction of a broken skull sitting on the floor.
At least we know what the number is now.
That's all right. Give me a
That's sort
minute,
of.
and I will cast Skeletal Stitch on the skull.
Is that mending?
Yes.
You'd have to find all the pieces. How much of it are you trying to make it perfectly back together, or just like mostly kind of the skull from the big pieces?
I'll do all the big pieces first, and then ask if that's fine.
Sure. It takes a little bit of time, obviously, because mending is not the fastest of things. You have to do piece by piece. But you managed to put together most of a skull. A little bit of the top's missing. Some of the teeth, a lot of those aren't there, and one of the eye sockets isn't fully. But there's enough that it holds its own shape and is obviously a skull.
Righto, Pesto, you might want to pop out of there for a moment while we do this, just in case. And we're to try putting them in order MD, CL, XVI.
With upside downs, the right way ups?
But yeah, upside down. So it looks like MD, CL, XVI. Sure. So it also need to be upside down.
As you do so, they all give off a faint glow, and the back of this shifts backwards.
Hey!
Revealing the tiniest of slot that you could move around. You'd have to go crawl where Pesto was crawling and then crawl through, but it is possible to get through.
Now, Pesto, before you go dashing through there,
I'd go dashing in there.
such an impetuous chap.
You see in this very small chamber, 5 by 5 at most, a small skeleton, curled on its side beneath what looks sort of like a collapsed beam, though it is made of rock. Around this skeleton there are various tools, very old tools, but tools nonetheless, and various broken mechanical or clockwork items next to them. There are bits of silk ribbon woven into a scarf around its neck that has long since degraded past the point of even being called clothing anymore. Atop its head of the skull, there is a set of heavy, riveted bronze goggles, which has a very interesting set of flip-down lenses, each of which is a different colour. Each of which, again, has tiny arcane runes carved around the edge. You would expect that the leather strap that holds it to the head to be broken, but it appears to still be intact and usable.
Yoink.
There's nothing down here, they say.
Weird, this one's empty.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, yoink those, and then all the weird mechanical bits, I just want to scoop those into my bag.
Yeah, it's just like a various amount of like old cogs, little bits of it, nothing that could be visually anything. They're so old and broken. You would be very interested in, you can tell like some of these cogs, though they're very delicate and fine, they've obviously been made with very old techniques a long time ago, to the point of like you wouldn't have even expected someone to have such precision such a long time ago. So it would be, in its own right, very interesting, though of course nothing that in its current state would be mechanically usable.
I can learn. I'll crawl back out. Yeah, weird. Nothing.
It's just like a leather strap hanging out your back pocket.
Should I go in and check?
Yeah, sure. Don't get stuck.
I'll go in and check.
You can't fit in.
I can't fit in.
You could go in
I won't go
corporeal,
in and check.
but you obviously you can't fit in the normal way.
Okay, fine, I'm kidding. There were things in there.
Oh, jolly good. What was there?
Bees.
Oh,
You found
that's
bees?
quite impressive.
What were bees doing in that hole?
Ah! But no sign of any, say, ghostly ladies.
There's no ghostly ladies.
No ghost. Okay, just checking. Right.
I'm a bit
Okay, well.
concerned, Captain,
Well,
that your singular ghostly lady has become a quest for multiple ghostly ladies.
We don't know if she's single.
Quite a short span of time.
Could be the same ghostly lady from different time spans.
I don't know about time travel or...
Who knows with ghosts?
Wouldn't you nose with goats? Ghosts? Not goats.
Goats.
I see a ghostly
Did I
goat.
want to see a goatly lady over here?
I do
right?
remember hearing something about some satyr at some point in history. I think she was a goatly lady.
Greatest of all time. Right. I am.
She loves butter or something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No need to ram the point home. Anyway, I'm going to go and investigate the wall over here. Not the bit which has got a great big hole in it.
Which
But the remaining.
I enjoyed that joke, Mark.
The remaining.
give me an investigation.
No one else enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it.
I know.
We
heard
all
it.
investigate this side.
Sure. Investigations.
Investi, as you so rightly put it. Investigations. Don't do that.
25.
25.
14.
14. With your 14, you're looking around, you just can't seem to find anything out
Aha!
of place.
It's a stone.
There is a stone. There's a few. Pesto, you're looking at this thinking, oh, well, so far there's been all sorts of interesting bits and pieces, what could there be around here? It could be levers, it could be buttons, some of them have been puzzles. And with your, was it 24?
25.
25, even better. You're looking at this wall and you notice just the subtlest of difference to some other parts of the wall, in that there is just an oak door in front of you.
Hey, guys!
How the hell anyone missed this before? This is more obvious than obvious. This is a fucking door. Modern in its look. Just no one could have missed. You've been past here multiple times. There is no way anyone could have missed this.
Hey, guys, I found...
Have you found something to do with my magic rock?
Well,
It probably is.
maybe. Honestly, this thing is the most uneasy I felt in this whole tomb.
What about when
So
you were
I come round.
your hand was held by some mysterious ghostly figure?
Yeah. Goatly figure.
Oh, ghostly figure.
Ghostly figure.
Ghostly figure. I come round here. Can I see the oak door? as
Yeah,
well?
it's just there.
Ah! How did you do that?
I looked with my eyes really hard.
Oh, well, that was my problem then. I'm not really sure what senses I use, because I don't really have the proper eyes.
Jolly impressed. Whatever you did.
I think you were also trying to walk in the wrong side, which I don't think helped very much.
It might have done.
Does someone else want to open this door? This is the only thing that's made me uneasy. The only thing that feels trapped.
I don't mind opening it for you, buddy.
Sure.
I'm going to check for traps.
I will attempt to open the door.
I will not check for traps.
You go down to look at the frame of the door and it just opens up.
It's open! Oh, it's you. Okay.
Oh, it doesn't seem trapped. I checked it.
Now, so in this description, I've written a woman's skeleton, but I realized that with skeletons, that's probably not something you could discern. Unless, of course, you're going by the weird, like, sometimes skeleton, like, have you seen Halloween directions where to make it a woman skeleton, the skeleton has skeleton boobs? It's like, that's not how any of this works. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It's to do with the length of the femur and the
it's
ribs.
hips and stuff.
Somewhat, but there's also some bits that are so ambiguous that it's basically impossible to tell. Anyway, you see a skeleton face down beside a second skeleton of a small drake, curled protectively around her. The drake's bones are strangely preserved, and a set of amethysts infused down its spinal bone spikes. You can see on the neck of the drake a talisman woven of ivy and a fossilized drake fang bound in vine and aged copper. Again, very well preserved considering the materials it's made from.
Before Pesto gets a chance, I'm going to use my mage hand and try and take it off the drake's skeleton.
You do so.
Is this the kind of thing that we should go and get Niffy for?
She would be interested, I think.
Yeah, let's just wait here for her to come back.
Bum, 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 bum.
I've had a thought that I'm going to keep to myself for now.
Okay.
Yay, thank you.
As long as it's not cryptic.
Yeah, cool.
I'll give the pendant to Pesto to put with the
Yoink.
I'm going to have a look at these amethysts in the spine of the on the back of the dragon.
So it is a small drake, no larger than pumpkin spice, probably smaller. These amethysts, so down its back, there are these various spikes that are obviously infused into the vertebrae of the spine, a part of the growth of the dragon. Inside of each of them inset is just a small amethyst. They're not well cut, they're not, wonderfully made. They're almost like chunks of amethyst that have just been put into each one. They are not glowing or anything particularly magic. Your detect magic is not detecting anything on them. They just appear to be pieces of amethyst. Probably not worth much until they are cut. If they were, fairly valuable, but nothing special.
Could I make a nature check on that? Like, were they placed or was it grown?
You're welcome to. You're welcome to do a check.
That's a 14.
14. You're not too sure. They're very well set into the bone, to the point that you're not quite sure how you would set it into the bone like this. It almost feels as though if you did that, it would just kind of fall out. It could be that they were grown with the skeleton, i.e. it could have been a young amethyst dragon, or it could be just magically infused at some point later in its life. But you're unsure.
We should probably not remove them. Might be more valuable as is.
I think we just leave it.
You don't want to take it with us? I mean, dragon bone's not that common. Might make a good material for you to make into stuff. Or we could sell it, or we could get life and have a little dragon pet.
You would be aware, Pesto more, but to be fair with what you've done, up to this point as a character, Ozzy would know. Let me just get the right stuff here. A lot of dragon parts in a lot of different countries are very illegal, because to get them you normally have to harm or kill a dragon. Obviously in this case you have not, but it is one of those that kind of has grey areas when it comes to teeth and claws, because you don't necessarily have to harm a dragon, and you could potentially in a courtroom be like, I just found a dead dragon, but generally illegal. That might not bother you, but it is a fact.
Oh yeah, no, we're super pirates. But also, I enjoy the idea of necromancying it to life and having it hop around pumpkin.
Yeah, but see, also my rock mom was a dragon, so I don't know. It just feels a little weird.
I'm half inclined to leave it alone, because it's obviously looking after its friend here. Leave him in peace.
And I feel like Niffy would probably be pretty pissed off. So,
I mean, I think that she might like to. No, I suppose it's probably in bad taste to play fetch with the rib of another drake.
yeah, there's plenty of other bones here we could play fetch with.
But you don't want like a little undead dragon pal?
No,
Because like pumpkin's a bit thick.
I
We could have like a smart one, or maybe your rock mother would like to transfer her consciousness into a dragon.
I don't think she'd want to do that. I think it would be in bad taste.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to leave it here, but we should like make a note that it's here and lock all of this back up again, so that we can come back if we want to. 'Cause I feel like
Shuts the door.
Oh, where'd you go? Oh, no.
Oh no, not like that.
On the wrong side. That's even funnier considering what I was about to say. It's like you shut the door and look away for a second, and when you look back, the door's gone. Just imagine you on the inside,
God.
you shut the door, and then you're just like, "Well, fuck, where'd the door go?"
It's quite dark in here. Whoa.
Who turned out the lights?
Well, now that we've buried Ozzy,
He's finally at rest.
Oh, I guess I've got to wait a few hundred years for another adventuring party to come along.
Just sing show tunes until then.
I think I'll name you Johnny.
Oh, dear. No, I think we'll shut the door with Ozzy on the outside.
Oh, Captain! I knew you wouldn't leave me.
Well done, Ozzy, for whatever you did. Congratulations.
I've bonded with Johnny. Are we not taking him with us?
I'm fine.
Oh dear.
We should probably get out now. We finished everything, right?
I think so.
I mean, we found so many things. There's bound to be more.
Yeah, but nothing else on the map, so we'd just kind of be like digging around for who knows how long, trying to find new information.
But in the period before I came back from wherever the heck it was I went, did you find anything unusual in this sort of catacomb apart from this map?
Well, there was like the ghost that was flying around beating the shit out of everyone.
Oh, right.
But we put a stop to that. It was not a ghostly lady, I'll have you know.
Good.
It was like an invisible,
Yeah.
more elemental style of thing.
Ah, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, stop disappearing. It's making captaining a ship really hard.
We're in a cave, though.
It was quite funny. Pesto kept falling over when the wind blew. Like stubbing his toes and stuff.
Wind?
Yeah, because it was like a wind thing. It kept like blowing Pesto over.
Yeah, I see. Oh, that's a shame. You obviously survived all right there.
Yeah. Let's get out of here and look at these magic items. I'm excited to find out what they do. Maybe some are sentient.
No objections. Let's go and see what Lulu's up to.
You weren't too keen on our last sentient item. You're planning on giving it away.
Huh? What? To my mom?
I suppose she is herself a sentient item, so I guess that makes sense.
Trying to work out if that's an insult or not. No, that's...
Your mama's so sentient.
Let's get out of here.
Goodbye, Johnny.
All right, chaps. Now, I would love to lead you out of here, but I have no idea where the way out is because I didn't come in.
think it's
Well,
this
our
way.
navigator wandered
Interesting.
off, so I'm not sure where we are either in relation to the exit.
I have a pretty good mental map of what the place looks like now after all the wandering.
You get back to the entrance that you came in, and Niffy is just having a nap on pumpkin spice latte. The figure that you found still living, it was the halfling. Yes.
It's the what?
So for your
Figure,
information, there
the
was a halfling
Alive.
wearing leathers, breathing but unconscious, next to Niffy, who is breathing but unconscious, but she's snoring.
Does the halfling need healing?
You stabilized him.
I think I already gave them
Uh,
some. I think I think I.
Yeah, I
gave
think
them
there was some
as
healing, but he
well.
did not wake up. It might have been Niffy that did the healing, but regardless, I'm pretty sure he's been partially healed.
Well remembered it was because I was surprised that Purdy had learnt a healing spell.
I thought I had, but apparently I haven't.
We have a ride to catch. Ozzy made
Really?
Ozzy made a
Friend?
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy here from my
Oh.
hometown.
Oh, that's nice. Well, perhaps you can introduce me. How tall am I at the moment, by the way?
I believe when you left off, you were a dwarf. Probably.
That's what I was thinking. So I'm about 4 feet tall-ish.
So, you go back to the entrance, and remember that there was like 10 minutes worth of steps that you went down on the way down, which Pesto wasn't, but everyone else was sort of crouched down. You got to go all the way up that again.
I'm hoverboarding, so I don't have to walk.
How big is how tall is the ceiling?
About 4 foot. You'd be like just crimping a little bit.
Crouching
Yeah.
slightly. Well, thank heavens I'm not a centaur at the moment.
You would have been sent to home.
Remind me not to get.
The clock ticked over.
Yes.
Pong.
That's
You're
what I
now
get
a
to
kraken. No,
Wearing a hat.
kraken with a mask, but it's just like a tiny mask.
What's cracking, lacking?
Yeah, you just travel up.
So the good news is that I don't have to bend down too much. The bad news is after about 20 steps, I'll be like, chaps, how deep are we exactly?
Oh, about 10 minutes deep.
And it's all uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
You go up and up. It takes much longer than 10 minutes on the way up, that's for sure. It's up and up. And by the time you get to the top, you're just... Well, Pesto isn't, but you're just exhausted. It was cool in the tunnels, but it's far too warm overall. Very dark outside. You pop out into what appears to be some kind of small clearing in a forest.
Oh, I say, this is nice. And by the way, ow, my legs!
Well, we got a little more walking to do.
Got my steps in today, that's for sure.
Back to the shore.
Well, the Stepsons are quite a notorious crime family. Surprised that you've heard of them.
Actually, my background is criminal.
What? You're a criminal?
No, but my family was. Before they became adventurous.
I mean, we're all criminals.
Yeah, that was the
We've all killed like a bunch of people.
joke.
All right, I
nice.
get it.
To be fair, I don't know if you know much about your captain's history as to whether or not he were a criminal.
Well, we do now.
We're all pirates, right?
My parents were not criminals. Well, they weren't criminals eventually. They were very good people. Very hard done by.
I hope your friend waited around, Ozzy.
I mean, he said he was going to be there for like 12 hours, and we've only been gone like 11 hours and 55 minutes, so I would have thought so.
It's a 10-minute walk back to... It is actually a 10-minute walk back, but eventually you get back. You see the same boat that you arrived in, just sort of sloshing gently up against the shore, up against the pier. In it, that very like classic scene of like a fisherman with a straw hat over their face, except it's a tabaxi called Newsy.
Hi, Newsy.
There's a little... Huh? Oh, you're right.
Oh, thanks for waiting.
Oh, no worries.
Oh shit! Did we grab Niffy?
Yeah, Niffy came.
Yes, we grabbed Niffy.
I've got her slung over one shoulder like a sack of potatoes, and I've got the halfling over the other.
No, Niffy is like on top of Pumpkin Spice Latte, just like face down, sleeping, being transported across.
Oh, we've picked up like our captain met us down there, and then we've picked up this lass. Is that alright?
Yeah, no worries.
Right.
Afternoon.
Is that halfling all right?
It's alive.
Captain, this is New Zealand. New Zealand. This is the Captain Montgomery.
Oh, you're right.
I missed it. I missed the name. Sorry.
Newsy.
Newsy.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Well, yes. Call me Monty. Everyone does. Nice to meet you.
Shall do. Right, you. What's with the get up?
Get up.
Yeah, like the fit.
The fit.
Yes, like the slab.
He's a captain.
The what?
Yeah,
The drip.
The drip.
Your clothes.
That's my captain's uniform.
All right.
Oh, did you mean and a rather nice mask I like to wear?
Yeah, sod.
Don't call me a sod.
I don't really wear masks myself because don't really fit over the face.
Yes, I know the feeling. I've been to backseat before. Yes, it is awkward.
Would you like one made to fit you?
No, I'm right. I don't really like masks.
All right. I just crawl into the boat.
Yeah.
Worst thing when you're at a backseat is when you get stuff stuck in the fur in your tail. It's such an annoyance.
You're right. Is your captain okay?
Yeah, this is normal.
He's been missing for a few days, but generally yes.
All right. Are you a little dehydrated?
I'm not that little. I know I'm quite short at the moment, but I see what you mean. I mean, yes, I couldn't. I could.
Well, you're being quite short with me.
Yes, I mean I wouldn't mind a bit of ale or something.
Yeah, right. Just grabs a little hip flask and hands it over to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll try a shot of the hip flask.
Yeah, take a sip. Horrendously strong whiskey. Peach stripper. Oh, your captain can't handle his stuff.
It's very nice. I can tell it's matured for at least 5 minutes. Oh, lovely. Oh.
You're right. I found this in a bottle in the back of my cupboard. I couldn't remember what it was.
I think it's probably nail varnish remover. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, it might be.
Could be perfume, possibly. Anyway, it tastes quite nice. Take another slug.
It's you again.
No, the second time isn't so bad because my throat's been killed by the first time.
It is, but it's dead.
That's actually okay. Yeah. Anyone want to try a little spot?
No, I'm busy. I'm taking out the goggles and starting to identify them.
Sure. The travel across, as you might remember, it was like an hour's worth of boating across.
I can do identify as well.
Yeah, if you wish to.
So we can half the time by doing.
We can get all 6 of the things that we grabbed.
You can
finished.
indeed. You can indeed. Meanwhile, of course, the two from Fingleton at the front just chatting away.
Yeah. I figured they'd be able to keep themselves busy.
Mm. So, the scroll that you have, I will describe.
Yes, the weird
in the
magic
guide.
scroll that needs attunement.
Yes, a scroll of translucent vellum bound in sea-worn kelp twine and sealed with a cracked wax sigil, which has been broken open, which is a mask with 2 faces, one laughing and one weeping. It hums faintly when held. You have discovered it is... it's called the Echoing Vellum.
Echoing vellum.
So, the Echoing Vellum, you do need to be attuned, but once per long rest, the user may read out the scripture on the page, which appears as you talk, and your voice will echo in a 30-foot radius. For 1 minute, any ally who was within that 30-foot radius may re-roll 1 failed saving throw.
Okay, interesting.
Is that every ally gets it once, or one person gets to use the single use?
Every ally gets it once. The second one, the ring that you found, which is a thick platinum ring inset with fishbone, carved with a skeletal hand cradling the sapphire in the top. You find out, and it would in fact, it also needs attunement, it would in fact faintly pulse when undead are nearby, something that is only useful to those who don't have, what's his name around.
Might be a bit of a glowy ring.
Although, yeah, I mean, technically, you are undead, but technically, mechanically, or not, whatever.
Well, if we were using the original one, but that's the only thing that we've swapped.
While it's tuned, lay on hands can also cure one of the following per use: fear, charm, or 1 level of exhaustion. In addition to that, undead creatures within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom save at the start of their turn, or regard the wearer as neutral whilst in the area. The effect ends immediately when they leave the area.
What's it called?
It's called the Grave Warden's Oathband.
So it's for paladins who want to sneak around the undead.
Interesting.
Next up,
Mm-hmm.
the goggles. Heavy riveted bronze goggles with multiple flip-down lenses, each of a different color, with tiny arcane runes carved around the edge, and a leather strap that is cracked but intact around the back. There are, as you will probably have worked out as I go through all these descriptions, as many lenses as there are schools of magic.
Cool.
Which
8.
8.
I think there's 8.
Whilst worn, these do not require attunement, which you will probably enjoy. Whilst worn, it grants advantage on Arcana checks to identify magical effects or enchantments, and also, if the wearer spends 10 minutes examining a magical item or mechanism, which I would include as doing identify as well, you gain advantage on recreating it using tools.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be really good for you, Captain.
What are they called?
They're called the Transmagical Goggles.
It was assigned sorcery at birth.
I'm just gonna slap
Yeah,
those
just
right on my
pop them
head.
on. They're great. You discover an almost like symbiotic sort of relationship with them immediately. They're not sentient, but you can kind of just like control the flip down of the lenses without having to use your hands.
Oh, fun.
It does appear that each of the colors is obviously, and the runes around them are in tune with each of the different magical schools. So that's obviously a part of what helps identify things and such.
Clock's going to strike midnight, and you're going to go, these are suddenly feeling a little bit tighter.
Oh, no.
Next up, the talisman woven of ivy and a fossilized drakefang bound in vine and aged copper. Basically, a big old dragon tooth which has got vines and copper around it. This one also does not require attunement. Twice per long rest. This one is one of the first items I think I've ever had that is specific to a class. Twice per long rest, a ranger's drake may act on its own turn without requiring the ranger's bonus action.
Hey!
I really like the look of this. Can I have it?
You can control your drake.
Unfortunately, it will only work
I
for
left
Niffy.
Johnny.
Yeah,
That's
you
called the
left me
Drake Warden's
home.
Charm. Who knew? Oh wait, no, I was wrong. That one does require attunement, and it can only be attuned by a ranger, unsurprisingly.
Okay.
I'll miss you, Johnny.
And I also forgot the Grave Warden's Oathband. This is how rare I do them. I forgot that I did it. It's also attunement, but only by paladins.
Okay.
Looking up, because I wrote this like a month ago, the Echoing Vellum, attunement for bards.
Oh.
But yes, the Transmagical Goggles do not. Right, next up.
Well, I can ignore all those restrictions anyway because of the...
Do you know what? I don't remember, but that's probably why I didn't bother.
Yeah.
The pendant of milky opal set into a black iron lid shaped like a lidded eye. It appears to blink every now and again. You discover this does require attunement, but can be attuned by any class. Whilst attuned, it grants 120 feet of dark vision, and once per long rest allows the wearer to cast see invisibility.
Neat. What's it called?
The Pale Eye.
Just pass that on over to Ozzy.
If it comes into your mind,
Here's your
Ozzy,
new eye.
yes, you can take off the chain and smack it in your face.
I don't know if I want it. I'll see,
It's up to
see
you.
what all the other things are.
All I'm saying is that would count as wearing it.
Does Ozzy have dark vision?
No, but I have at will light cantrips.
Mm-hmm.
My tactic in the dark is to fall over things.
Finally, the fragment of obsidian etched with silver glyphs. The broken bronze housing suggest it once fit into a larger plaque or tablet, with the writing on it glowing softly. briefly. This is called the Tomb Writ Shard, the Tomb-Writ Shard. It does require attunement, it has no specific class. And whilst you're attuned, you may cast Comprehend Languages at will. And once per week, you may cast Legend Lore.
Hey, that's the one that we were...
Legend Lore.
Legend Lore, something that hardly ever comes up, ever.
Yes.
Well, one of the reasons it never comes up is because it's a 5th level spell, but also you've got to get components and stuff. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass to not have on an item, but it's fun on an item.
I'd be really interested to know the legend behind some of these, because those skeletons we saw are really interesting. The sort of silk scarf and the young amethyst dragon, possibly.
Well, you can only do it once a week, though.
And they've got to be of legendary significance, which, if they're not, they'll just go...
There you go. A bunch of items. Congratulations, you found them all. I
Yippee!
wasn't sure when I put together the shapes whether or not you would find all the bits and pieces.
Luckily, we have some shape rotators.
Yeah, I mean, you cheesed it a little bit, but to be honest, can you imagine doing this in real life? Going through the corridors of a cave with no ability to know. It just would be impossible.
I swear to you, if I saw a piece of paper with that shit written on it in real life, I would toss it aside as I have no idea what to do with this.
Also, Purdy getting the one... So they're all shapes of the rock, but one of them is the one that's actually the shape of the cavern. It was supposed to be that one you'd find hardest because, of course, that's the inverse of the others. But I just found that second. I was okay. I expected you to find the penis-shaped one first because that's the most obvious.
Yeah,
and the information. Yeah. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I kept it in there because it kind of gives you that information early.
It's the key.
Yeah.
And then the rest, I knew you'd find a couple, and then eventually work out it doesn't have to be the whole of the shape and such.
That was probably the hardest puzzle you've ever given us.
Oh, that's certainly not true.
Oh no, not at all. We did a one shot that introduced Steppy Steps in. That had some crazy puzzles in it.
Oh yeah, the keep talking nobody explode style bomb thing.
I've literally just listened to that. Although I wouldn't say that was too difficult. You didn't struggle majorly.
I remember going, I have to leave this to Mark.
That is true.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
There is three. Purdy wasn't around for that one, so it's Dad, you, Rowan, and Simon working on bits and going around, and then there's just silence from Joe, and then at one point it comes up I forget exactly how it is, but you're just I'm gonna be honest, I have no fucking clue what's happening right now.
Some kinds of puzzles I can put my mind to and I can work through it, and some of them I just have no fucking idea. I don't even know where to start.
This is where I tried to put a lot of visuals. That I put in the extra effort for the visuals, because can you imagine trying to work out any of these things without actual visuals?
Not
it's
happening.
Impossible.
Yeah.
That's why I was struggling with the Roman numeral thing. I was like, are these actually Roman numerals though, the way you're describing them? I'm not sure. I want to look at them.
A good point. As you arrive back in Ithrin, which one are you in? I don't remember.
Ithrin.
Who named them the same?
You generated them the same.
No, you're in Ether.
What?
I didn't generate them.
I thought you said you generated them.
No, I don't generate names.
Sarah named a bunch of them for you.
Sarah named a few, or I used what she had come up with for them. But no, I don't generate names.
Okay.
Yes, you are in Ithir.
Then why did you do that?
I thought you said we were in Ithrin. Where are we?
No, you're in Ithir.
I thought we were in Ithrin. No, Ithir was the one with the veil bark.
No, that's Ithrin.
Oh, we said it the other way around earlier. You told us earlier that we were now in Ithrin.
I said that because that's the way I had written it down.
So we're in Ithir then?
Ithrin was the first one you went to. Ithir is the one you're in now.
Don't do this!
And I'm just going to switch that every time you come back. No, I'm kidding. For the sake of those that might not have heard it before, I shall describe Ithir again.
I missed it.
So, if you look by the Uthven Sea, next to Carmanthia, bottom of Fluari.
I am looking at Fluari. I need glasses here. That's what it is. Which sea? Uthven Sea, got it. Yeah.
Uthven Sea. go slightly inland, that's not the most up-to-date, but on the very corner of that lake that cuts in, the river that cuts in and becomes a big lake towards Ether, the first little dot on that corner is Ithrin. Then the larger bit is called Lake Meriphen, and sitting on it is Ether.
I'll get it.
Ether. Hidden in the calm waters of Lake Meriphen, cradled entirely by the flow of the Fari River, which is the name of that river, floats the quiet and verdant town of Ether. From a distance, it appears as a scatter of wooden walkways and reed-grown platforms connected by bridges and canoes, yet within it is a thriving community of balance and care, rooted in tradition, but moving with the water. Originally founded by a circle of druids, Ether remains a town guided by nature. Its homes are built from driftwood, willow, and shaped living trees. Moss and herbs grow on rooftops, and waterfowl nest unbothered beside doorways. No stone roads, no carts, only boats, flat barges, and walkways suspended by buoyant reeds or stilts. Rather than fishing or hunting, Ether sustains itself through floating farms, carefully tended beds of aquatic vegetables, herbs, and grains that are harvested and traded along the river, particularly to Ithrin, Otu, and Moonhaven, but some trading moving further into Carmanthia. These farms are a source of both livelihood and pride, worked with care and often blessed under the light of the belt. You would be coming in from the northern path, or that's so if you look on the map, you can see there is a path that goes into the lake from the north and a path that comes out from the south. You've gone from the north across to Ether. It is very dark in the late evening, potentially even pushing towards midnight, as you, I would assume, head back towards the Green Marsh Inn, which is where you left Varn Bellwater.
Varn Bellwater. What a great name.
I'll head into the tavern then.
You get to the Green Marsh Inn, which has shut since you left. It has got quite late, and therefore it has indeed shut. I would imagine if you knock on the door, is that what you're doing, or are you going to try and find another way?
Yeah.
You knock on the door. It's a few seconds before the door opens, and you see the dwarven innkeeper that you left. Did I give you the name of the...
Hold on. That's on the other side of my
I don't remember.
thing.
I think you did tell us a name.
If you did, I didn't write it down.
Good. I also don't actually remember what accent I gave you, but I think it was a sort of a... This kind of an accent was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you open up the door, or should I say, as she opens up the door and looks, she's like, it has been a while. I was assuming that you might have passed on.
Lots of loot to be had.
It's good for some.
It's just been like a few hours.
Yeah.
We got one of them back. The others were, yeah.
I will leave you to talk to Varn. He is currently sleeping.
Okay.
Good evening, madam. Nice to meet you.
This is our captain, by the way. He found us.
Oh. Always good to see another dwarf.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Don't count on seeing him in the morning.
Oh,
It's,
well.
it's possible. Life holds very many surprises. Do we have rooms at all? Since I wasn't here when you arrived.
I mean, we live on our own ship, Captain.
Yeah, your boat is docked. In fact, I think you went past your own boat when you docked up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you stayed in the inn. So you were staying on the... Yes, good, excellent.
You do not seem like a good captain.
Learning the ropes, you might say. Learning the ropes and the chains and the whips.
He's not a good captain. He's a great captain.
That's very kind, Ozzy. Not true, but very kind.
If you say so.
Right. I suppose you should leave this poor chap to sleep for tonight and have a chat tomorrow. What about this poor halfling? Perhaps we should get him to some kind of medical assistance?
Seems all right. He's just sleeping it off. Do you mind if we leave him here?
We've already given him as much medical attention as they're likely to get.
Well, welcome to leave him here. I will just put him with Van.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I know we are close, but I can tell you've had a bit of a hard time. Would you like to step in? A drink?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Never say no to a drink, although for some reason my tongue feels a bit sore at the moment. I can't work out why. It's the whiskey.
Oh.
I genuinely thought you'd frozen there, Rowan. You were very still with that expression.
I was really trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about.
Right, yes. Well, that's very kind of you.
I was going to say that there's something that two of you might remember, but of course, Father, you would not know at this point about having a drink.
Oh, right.
You step inside of the tavern, go over to the bar. She steps behind and says, "Oh, what would you like?"
Oh, that same thing you gave me last time. A really sweet drink. That was
Of
good.
course.
What was that?
Yes, gets you the what was it, like I believe it was called like a fire mango smoothie.
Yeah, fire mango, yeah.
That looks interesting. I'll try one of those. Always ready for a new experience.
Of course. Makes up two of them. So it comes to you in a nice tall glass. It's evidently some kind of mango smoothie type thing. Except when you take a sip, it has this like really sharp, spicy flavor over the top that is immediately cooled by the undertones of it being a cooler drink, but also the fruit, the mango, and such that is mixed within. An interesting drink, possibly not one you've had something similar to before, but quite nice.
Yeah,
A local delicacy.
It's very nice. Yes. You should do it. You should market this. I'm sure you could put this place on the map. It's jolly nice.
I do believe that Ether is already on the map.
Yes. I was thinking more on the commercial map of the world rather than just the physical. Oh, never mind. Right. If you could take care of this halfling person, we'll pop back tomorrow and have a chat with what was his name?
Vern.
Vern. Yes, exactly.
If you wish.
Very kind. Well, we'll see you in the morning then.
Okay.
Thank you for the drink.
What time do you open?
I tend to be around here somewhere around 6 to get things ready. But we do not technically open until 7.
But if Verm waits, and before we arrive, if you could let him know we are back and we'll be coming to talk to him.
Sure.
Lovely. In which case, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for the drink.
Yes.
And you step outside into the cool air. It's probably got quite cold at this point as it's coming into the night. And you wander on over to the ship, still sitting. It was anchored earlier in the same day, but
No, so you didn't sink it then. Excellent.
We actually had like one of the smoothest landings we've ever had.
Yes. I choose to ignore that. Right, so
as you are traveling up into the ship, Captain, there's a sort of for the rest,
it's a ghost.
like a bit of a whooshing sound, like a like it doesn't come through on Discord, but like a kind of like a little bit of wind, not a fart, a little bit of wind. As you're it's really weird as you're walking up the platform. Your perspective completely changes as you're suddenly 6'2". You gained 2 feet as you are now a high elf.
I thought I changed when I went to sleep.
Midnight.
I thought half elves
Midnight.
have the same number of feet as dwarves.
Maybe, but this is a high elf.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you're a high elf. You don't know what you look like yet because you've got your mask on.
Got my
but
mask on.
You're tall,
my
relatively
clothes
old.
Change with me.
Yes.
Heard he's as Niffy's favourite kind of elf.
Yes. And you all rest up for the evening. When you do look into a mirror, you see that you are definitely an elf of aging years, somewhere in the late 800s. So the wrinkles have started to come in. This platinum blonde hair definitely starting to, lose a little bit in places. But a fit enough body, something that works for you.
Oh well. At least I'm not a centaur.
You're really inconvenienced by that, huh?
Being a centaur is quite. But there again, there are times being a centaur can be quite useful, I suppose. But not when you.
It's a lot of horseplay.
Ah,
Yeah, imagine your
Not
voice
that
gets quite sore.
yes, I shall take off my magical clothing, which probably shrinks back to I don't know what its normal size is actually. Get some sleep.
It'll just stay at whatever you leave it, I would imagine.
Fair enough. And I'll hang my mask next to it and get some sleep.
Yes, you'll rest up. The early hours of the morning. I'm sure you're awoken by the tinkering sounds that of the Rakuni person down in the basement. The suns at this point would not have risen. At this part of the world, you'd expect they rise somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, so it would be earlier than that, as you potentially travel back over to the Green Marsh Inn. The town is evidently awake. There are farmers who have been tending to their crops and are currently doing so. Plenty of people moving around, ready for some sentiment of a work day. Obviously, things don't quite work the same as in other towns around here, seeing as this is a floating city. You do see a lot of people just checking the ropes, checking everything's still tied together, almost seemingly like a routine. Not that they're expecting everything to have fallen apart, but just it's what you do. You get up in the morning, check everything's still working and tied together, and then move on with your day. You move over to the Green Marsh Inn, which sits in the same state as when you left it. Still, depending on what time you're up, would you have got up for its being open, or would you have got up earlier than that?
I suspect that Monty will be an early riser, so he'd been up out on deck practicing on his lute for a little while quietly, so not to disturb people.
Yeah.
So
you get there probably 6:45 or so, not quite open yet. Give a knock on the door, and of course, if Monty is there, the door opens, and you never said whether you got the name or not, but it's Brilda opens up and says, "I recognize the clothes, but not the person."
yes, a bit of a condition I have where I sometimes change size, but it is still me. It's still Monty.
I presume the other two of you are with Monty.
Yeah.
It looks down to Pesta.
Yeah, that's him.
Fine enough.
I will have my mask. I'll have my mask back on again and my gloves, so you can't see much of me.
Step inside.
Thank you.
She goes back behind the bar and starts just setting things up. And you can see in the corner sat are two figures. One, a human, who you would recognize as Varn. The other, a halfling, who you would recognize as Olea. Both having some simple breakfast, maybe like a porridge or something, looking exhausted, but chatting away to each other.
Walk over and say howdy.
G'day.
Ah, good to see you're up and about. I didn't know your
Oh,
name.
you're right. I don't know who you are, but well, I guess thank you. It's I wasn't told much about the other two, but I was told enough.
Oh, I'll take out the broken loot from one of them, and then I believe I got the bag of herbs from the other one.
You did. You also stole one of theirs hands, but whether or not you bring that out or not is up to you.
Why?
No.
It was the hand of the one that got crushed up and it just like slopped to the ground and you were like, oh, a hand, and you took it.
Yeah, it was for proof of death.
I have to dump that later.
But you did also get the herbal pouch.
Yeah. I'll get the pouch out and the broken loot. So, just to show that we did find them and to have something to recover.
And the sword he gave you?
Oh, yeah, that too.
He gave us his sword as a token
Right.
of we are who we say we are. He sent us to
Yeah.
rescue.
Whoop!
You put them all down. He's like, oh,
Give it back right between his ribs.
and just finish the job. It's like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, this isn't the first time things have gone a little awry. It's the worst it's ever been, but like, well, I'm not sure you'll care too much given that your status of work, but I just was brought up to believe that adventuring would be the way forwards and such. And I knew I was never like great, as good as the greats, the ones that, all the way at the top, dragon slayers and all that. But I thought I might be able to make some, kind of a earnest living, but I don't know, it's just nothing has ever been what was advertised, like, not just that being working for the Adventurers Guild means, we don't get to keep all of what we keep, but it just feels like at any point we're thrown out to something, especially if it's dangerous like this. And I don't even know what the reception is going to be when we're back. I don't know how to deal with 2 dead members. I don't even know if they'll care. I mean, supposedly, there's like death insurance.
Yeah. I wouldn't count on it, dear boy.
I don't know.
Never trust the bureaucrats.
You certainly seemed ill-equipped for that particular...
What? You're not
area.
kidding. But like what we were told would happen and what did happen, I don't know, like maybe I was being dumb expecting that, us not being told how dangerous it was would mean that it's not as dangerous as it was. But like, I'm not going to deny that obviously we're not ready for this. We're not good for this.
What's like the scariest thing you've ever killed?
Scariest thing I've ever killed. Wow. Some like giant spiders have come across our way, some smaller beasts, and people. Not so proud of that one. Mostly in defense. No, I'm not like going around killing people willy-nilly.
Oh, it's just like maybe you're like hunters if you're killing spiders and stuff, rather than adventurers.
Maybe, but I can't make a living being a hunter, because if you're not an adventurer, then that gets really grey on the line.
Maybe just like hunt some deer or something.
Even so, that can be counted as adventuring.
You can't trust the Adventurers Guild.
Well, I mean, they're not. On an individual level, the guild that we work for, they've never been bad to us. This is the first time it's been like this disastrous, but it just feels like the whole system is maybe a bit flawed.
Exactly. And now you'll go back and try and get the death insurance. Yes. Well, good luck. I hope you have better luck than we did.
I mean, it won't be me that gets any of the death insurance. It's the family that, because they're earning a living as well.
Yes.
I don't even know if we get paid for this. I guess we're on monthly, but yeah.
Maybe just like be a city guard or something,
I'm thinking it. I know that down the way, was it Ithrin?
Mm-hmm.
They've got their path wardens. Sounds like a much nicer life than this.
They seemed like a good group.
Yeah, they're basically just hunters.
I don't know what they count as, because I would have said that's adventuring.
More protectors.
But it seems they get away with it.
They're more city guard.
Yeah.
Just part of the city happens to be the woods that's filled with monsters that they patrol.
Like we were there a few days ago. We only ever saw them sitting in like this nice cabin.
Yeah, well, we had to fight a demon.
Yeah, like we killed a demon there, and they just sort of.
It's like this again. Like,
actually,
yeah.
there is some shit going on in that town. There's this guy called Mums.
No.
Fuck is up to something, and we couldn't stick around long enough to find out what it was. But it might be a living to be made there. Just long-term surveillance on Mums, owner of the general store.
Can I ask? You don't have to answer this.
All right, I probably won't then.
Why aren't you adventurous? I mean, like, you could be making a living, like a proper living, monthly insured. I mean, with the skills you've got, you'd be high up, right? Like, you could do like one adventure a month and probably be paid much better than average.
I don't really like being told what to do that much.
Is there PAL drone hovering around?
No, because it's
shattered.
It came back with them. You never found.
Yeah, just for anything that might be recording these two about to be saying that they're not adventurers.
You can't trust the Adventurers Guild. I'd never work for them.
Like, we are adventurers, but if we weren't adventurers, it would be because I guess I kind of fell into it.
Kind of like washed up into it.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with the guild.
You should have.
They seem to send a lot of incompetent people about, which seems to be irresponsible, but that's not my problem.
Nah, they don't keep people informed properly. Disasters like this happen all the time. People die, and they don't care. As long as they get their money.
Oh, dying's not so bad.
Anyway, you're well out of it if you leave the guild. I think you should go back and have a serious word with the people who sent you out here.
Maybe.
How's your fishing?
I grew up learning to, do vague adventuring things. I'm only 20.
Oh, I thought you were like a bit older than that. You got a lot of wrinkles. Maybe you want to pick a less stressful lifestyle.
I don't think I had a lot of wrinkles.
I wouldn't take the criticism from him. He's,
Sorry, a lot of skin all looks the same to me.
Yeah.
Maybe like pick a less stressful career.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really insist on venturing, you should find yourself a more experienced group. And don't trust it. When they say that something is simple and safe,
I won't.
Don't
I can't
ever
find
trust
myself a adventuring group because the way the points work. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be able to work with people who've got more. But I can't get the points because every time we try,
I think he was talking more our line of work.
you could do that, of course.
Which is adventuring.
Yeah, just don't stop moving.
It can be lucrative.
I don't think I could do that.
You could do it for a little while, make a bit of a nest egg, then settle down.
Let's be real. I'm more set for manning a shop than anything like that. Anyway.
Fair enough.
But I'm sorry about your friends.
If you wait long enough, go down to Ithrin. There's going to be a general store. It's soon not to have an owner. If you want to man that.
I really don't know what's wrong with him. I'm sorry.
He has a bit of a one-track mind sometimes, a bit focused. A little more focused perhaps than he needs to be. But he means well.
You want some tree chews?
No, it's
What?
okay.
Here you go.
Deep in thought.
I don't know what you.
Tree chews.
I don't know what this is.
Just like a candy. Chew on it. Good for thinking.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Whereabouts is your guild located, and what's it called?
We come under the Black Kraken. That's up in Marrow.
Oh.
They're very big.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, get out of there, dude.
Like,
There's like
I wouldn't want to be sued for slander or anything, but we did recently clean up one of their messes. And by their messes, I mean a mess that they'd caused. They, planted a demon in a tree.
I'm not even going to slightly get involved in that. Oh, and our wages are going to be cut because of the fucking paldron's broken.
That sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, shame we don't know anyone who's any good with, fixing stuff. Oh, well. We're headed upriver. Is that the direction that you're headed?
No.
Actually, you know what? I could fix it up for you.
Well, you'd have to find it first.
Really?
Well,
Well, we know where the tomb is, so we could just go get it.
Yeah.
What's it worth?
To me,
Yeah, to you to have it fixed. What's it worth?
nothing.
to you?
They'll know it's been edited. They'll basically charge me the same no matter what.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Muck around with those things. It's all like I don't know, some kind of cloud type system.
Cumulonimbus or something else?
Stratus?
No, I don't know that.
You can't be serious.
No, I'm Varn. Bellwater. Listen, you move on with your stuff. I'm probably going to hang it around here for a couple of days anyway. Just gather,
Well, I've never been able to save one of your friends at least.
Yeah, shame about the others. Is it safe down there, to recover bodies, or?
Yeah.
It should
That
be.
I mean,
thing's been taken care of.
We've pretty much brought you back anything that's worth bringing back.
Yeah, yeah.
We weren't we were only able to identify that they were who you said because of the number. They're all kind of pasty smears over the rock.
To clarify, one of them was, the other one wasn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
Oh, graceful way to go. Great.
I imagine it was fair.
We're still not entirely sure what it was either. It was some kind of elemental thing or something.
It was invisible and guessy.
Oh,
But it's not there. anymore.
well, listen, you move on. I'm sure you're gonna. I don't know how I can guarantee to you, but I just won't mention you.
That's very, very kind.
Cool.
You've done enough for me anyway.
Well, I hope you find a path in life that suits you.
Me too.
Well, farewell. And also to you, Master Oli,
Earlier.
yeah. And I'll, yes. And perhaps we'll meet again in the future.
Under better circumstances.
But probably not. It's a big world.
Yeah, most likely
It
not.
is
Probably never see us again.
Yes.
That might be better.
Right.
I don't know.
I'll leave you in peace.
Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye now.
Bye-bye.
As we're walking away, I'll just whisper to the captain, Did you say leave them in pieces? Because I can. It's not
Yeah,
too much of. If he's just killing spiders, then I don't think it'd be very difficult to.
I think they've had enough excitement for 1 week.
All
Let's
right.
leave them alone.
As you're leaving, the innkeeper, Brilda, sort of gives a wave. It's like, do you want anything before you leave, or?
Nah, we should get heading.
Yes, we should be on our way. It's been lovely to meet you, madam, and I hope your inn thrives.
And just any no news of anything big from upriver recently? No big collisions or something that bit of the river blocked or anything like that?
Not that I have heard of.
Great.
Should there be?
Like, big towns, sometimes they embargo stuff or they're searching through ships.
Ah, I see what you mean. Yes. Fair point. Right, Jack.
Not that we're going to a big town or anything. We're just sort of going.
We're just going for a camping trip upriver to have a rest. Bye.
Goodbye.
Head back to ship.
You head back over
Try to look innocent.
to the ship. Now, what is the plan? It's, early in the morning. It would take about a day or so to travel up to O2. It's all upriver. You have to go slower because at that point the river becomes a lot thinner, so a lot harder to traverse. Lots more shallows. So it would take about a good 24 hours worth of shipping, of sailing to get over to O2.
Is O2 the dot on the river?
Ah, yes. So the one you have might not have O2 on it.
Is it the one that's
yes, it is the one that is in Carmanthia. Yes. Goes across the river.
Yeah. We might just well head up that way. I've completely forgotten why we're heading up towards Moonhaven in the first place.
Are you heading to Moonhaven because you know that you couldn't sell things there?
Oh, that's what it is.
And Rock Mom.
Oh, and Rock Mom. Yes.
That's in the warm heart.
Yeah, we'll just head up the river then and see what the fates bring us.
Is there anything you would do in the couple days?
Yes.
I'll practice on my lute.
Well, I say a couple days. 24 hours, but I'm assuming you'd break it up into 2 days worth of travel.
That fucked up Paldrone.
Which one? Your one or the other broken one that you have?
The broken one.
Okay.
Can I use my new goggles to dig into that and gain a better understanding on how it actually works? And how I could possibly use that to spruce up our own Paldrone?
So, okay, a couple of things happening here. Yes, you can analyze it. In terms of recreating it, you could have advantage in making a new Paldrone, which in itself would be good at fixing Paldrones. In terms of upgrading, that as a total doesn't inherently just give you the ability to upgrade, but you could suggest a little something and we can do some rolls to see if it is successful. Like if you had an idea in your head.
I mostly just want it to be more convincing.
Okay, so you would be very aware currently that the biggest issues with convincing is the one you have is a little physically ramshackled, just sort of put together and such, and the internal mechanics are a little busted, hence why it around a little bit. But you have a broken one. Can you use the parts from that to fix up the one you have? Good question. This is where we could do some rolls. Firstly, let's do the Arcana roll with advantage, because then you get to use your goggles to sort of look at the internal arcane engineering of both of them, really.
Arcana roll with advantage. Now, I also want to say during this, I want to figure out, they said something about a cloud. I want to figure out if there's a way I can connect to that. If I can get in there.
We'll add it into the old...
Yeah, into the information gathering. Oh boy, that is 24.
24. So, the first things first, you have enough parts to not perfectly fix your drone, but to smash them together and, replace little bits here and there. The hovering would be a bit more stable. It would be a little bit more classy, one could say. If you wanted to be more convincing as well, you'd have to, fix up the shell of the one you have and clean it up, because I believe you'd sort of made it a bit more stylized. If you want it to just look like a drone, it would have to go back to a very unstylized look. It is not uncommon for people to stylize their PAL drones, but it depends on how convincing and such you want it to be in terms of just like bog standard.
I'm fine keeping it stylized. I just want to reduce the amount of.
Yeah, so I would say you fix most of it. You're not convinced. Like, you think every now and again it might have a little bit of a splutter, but at the very least, when you bring it out, it won't look like it's about to explode, which is probably what we wanted. In terms of like the cloud, you gain an understanding that Vern's understanding was like bad. There is no like cloud to connect to. There is no like, ooh, I can immediately connect back to them. It's more, there is an internal recording on this drone that the second on a normal one you try to touch it, it would just like set off alarms, and it would be, it would be obvious that it has been tampered with. But when you take it back, they are able to retrieve that information and put it into their own sort of like storage thing. There is no like immediate connection between the one that you have and like a central database of any kind. So it does
need to return.
Yes, it does need to go home in order to connect. And yours, you kind of disabled the recording side of things. It still has the functions and records things for your use, but you have a much simpler version of it, because to use the more complex one isn't really possible because it's so ingrained with this like anti-manipulation detection and stuff. You basically just took out their unit and smacked it in your own one. That's much, much simpler.
Okay.
So it has functionality, but not as good of a recording capability.
Cool. I'll keep whatever other parts are around after the repairs as scrap.
I would say with all of this, there's nothing worth anything left of the broken one. You've kind of taken bits from both and made one. The rest is all not worth anything.
Scrap for various things.
I mean, yeah, like there's
metal up for a grenade.
Yeah.
Make shrapnel out of it. Cool.
Okay. Anything the others of you would like to do within the couple days?
I can't think of anything. Is there anything of our stuff, because we're going to... Are we doing Moonhaven or Rockmum first?
Moonhaven.
I thought so. Is there anything that we are wanting to hide in our various hidey holes specifically, because we're either planning on not selling it, or because Moonhaven is a large city with a black market, on the off chance that we get boarded and checked and stuff that we want to hide?
I think most of the valuable stuff is just in my bag. I don't think there's anything we have to keep out
Okie-dokie.
right now, aside from magic ammunition, but I don't know.
That's not inherently illegal.
Yeah.
Treating someone with it might be.
Yes, it would be a bit of a grey area because you are technically a cargo ship, so you'd have to convince them why you have magical ammunition, but defense,
I would like to look into the fireball and lightning bomb gems, but I don't think I want to do that on the ship.
Sure.
That may be a problem. And I would like to use legend lore during the trip as well.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Which one are you going to do?
I personally want to find out what's up with that Drake Warden's charm.
Yes.
Okay. So, legend lore. Name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings you to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that's never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information, which is a very subjective line.
Yes.
The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. Blah 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 blah. So you're looking for the
Drake Warden's charm.
Drake Warden charm. So, I will say it's not like super legendary, so you're not going to get a bunch back, but you do get a little bit of historical information. So this evidently was carried by a Drake Warden of old, who seemingly was more of like a rescuer, if that's a way of putting it. So led lots of rescues to save people from situations with their dragon, with their amethyst dragon. And most notably, went into battle against a lot of deep spawn horrors. So like Underdark type things. Saving people from, we don't really have the Underdark in this world, but equivalent. You know, the hells and such. Her and her dragon not aiming to kill the horrors, but to save those that had been taken by them. This talisman is from the Amethyst Dragon. It was taken and enchanted by, probably somebody else, but worn by her as an amulet, as a necklace, a talisman, one could say, to give her that extra bond with the Drake. In order to, I mean, as it mechanically comes out, the Drake can kind of act on its own, but like a much better bond with her beast. Yeah, but it kind of stops with that. This wasn't someone who is like written in all the history books like the Strangelings. It's just someone who was notable, evidently enough to be buried specially. So they are most likely from somewhere in the area, but long before it was necessarily the countries as they are named now.
Neato.
So those are tombs.
Yes, you just raided them all. Also, by the end of these 2 days, Monty, you are now a Goliath. 7'2",
Big boy.
7'2", female, big, big and muscly.
Come out in the morning. Morning. I say, have you shrunk?
No.
Yeah, basically you come out rubbing your eyes and you're just looking at a pair of knees like, hey?
Morning.
Okay. You're really big.
Hi. I suppose I am. Oh, that's interesting. I can see the top of your head. Huh. Well, there you go.
You could see that anyway.
Yes, I know. No, it's a long way away. I need a telescope.
Yes, I think you're over twice the size.
Well, good job. I've got reinforced seats on this in my cabin. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
So, eventually, in the late evening of the second day, you make it to Otu, which is the northernmost town of Carmanthia. Don't you know? Far upriver from the wide mouth of the Fari, the town of Otu sits firm on the northern bank, where the waters grow calmer and deeper. Ooh, before we get to here, I forgot. Can you roll me some water vehicle handling checks for your journey?
I thought we were going to get away without damaging the ship.
Who's doing the rolls?
You're the. Well, I mean, unless you're not driving.
I've got the dash ready. Oh god, you have to remind me about the
water handling. It's just proficiency.
It's just a straight proficiency. Yeah. I seem to remember my proficiency is +9, but then I don't remember things.
I'd be very surprised.
It's not +9. +4.
+4.
Come on, dice. I'm going to roll well. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to roll well. I'm going to roll badly instead. So that's 7.
It's a rough journey.
I'm going
Is that with the
to,
+4? Or...
Yep, I'm going to add my thing. +4, make it an 11.
It's still a fairly rough journey. This river is thin. Like, you first discover, like, the banks are fairly far from you. Like, that's fine, just going around the other smaller boats that are around. But you first discover just how difficult this will be when you go about, a quarter away from the center. And you just, at one point, bounce off the much shallower ground than you expected, where the river kind of, like, V's in. What then proceeds in the next 24 hours worth of travel is a lot of just like right.
So all the things we had discussed earlier is happening between the repairs that I'm having to make.
Oh yeah. As you're going down, you're slowly repairing the ship.
We take it slow.
I'd say in total, it probably doesn't take too much, maybe about 20 damage in all. It's not a lot, but it's just a lot of scrapes and bashes and bonks as you're going along. And eventually, yes, O2 sits firm on the north bank, where the waters grow calmer and deeper. Although once little more than a gathering of fishermen's huts, O2 grew steadily with the river's generosity, and with the steady thrum of hammers on anvils. Today, it is a thriving village of stone and wood, with buildings tightly packed together in maze-like communities, close physically, but also personally. Again, a lot of this information would come from Pesta, who has been through these areas before. At O2's southern edge stands an impressive stone bridge called the Stenagard Bridge that reaches over the River Fari. ancient in origin but heavily reinforced in recent decades. The bridge itself is over 1,000 years old, and many who have travelled past the town remark on the marvel that is the engineering of the bridge. I'm sure Pesto was one of them. Created using ancient magical construction techniques that have since been made redundant, but impressive nonetheless. This bridge is home to the Bridgehead Market, a gigantic market that stretches across the bridge itself but mostly is a collection of stalls at the northern mouth. The city moves north from this, quickly changing from businesses to homes before eventually thinning out at a northern edge. O2 is a fishing town, first, but is known throughout the region for something else, its blades. At the heart of the town, a renowned blacksmith by the name of Harps practices an ancient craft, blending artistry and function into every sword, knife, and tool. Traders, adventurers, and even far-off lords occasionally commission work from this hidden master. The weather is much like elsewhere along the ferry, cool by day, around 15 degrees, chilly at night, about 5 degrees, and the buildings carry the familiar village charm, thick stone walls, thatched or slate roofs, and narrow cobbled streets. Though woods fringe the horizon, O2 is more open than its cousin towns. Wide fields stretch beyond the southern bridge, and the river's edge cradles the town like a sleeping hand.
That is very poetic.
Thank you.
If the hand is asleep, does it kind of feel like it's got pins and needles?
It's tingly. It's just tingly. Yeah.
Thank you, Paldrone, for all of that wonderful information.
It's been stored. Yeah, you came through. You would know Pesto. There's a few things of note here. Number one, the most notable thing, the Worn Anvil, a blacksmith's forge operated by the famous Harps. This is where blades, people come from all over for these blades, and they're very expensive. Harps is a older male halfling, and has been working basically his entire life. There is the Bridgehead Market, like I said, which is a gathering of stalls and permanent shops to the north entrance of the Stenagard Bridge and stretching across the bridge itself. You would know the Wren's Nest is a tavern, but kind of the main. But let me just check on which one that one is. Yes, the Wren's Nest is one of the taverns. The other tavern is called the Salted Leech. The Salted Leech is much more run down and a bit more seedy and probably less inviting to you. There's other things like the Hall, O2 Hall, which is just council building, and then a few shops and things that you wouldn't be too bothered by. Majority of everything is just in the Bridgehead Market if you were going to buy anything at all.
So we're looking at basically next time a shopping episode.
If you wish to.
Well, we'll need to check out the general store to see if there is a Mr. Rubella running amok on the townspeople.
Is that another English joke?
You would no. Oh, rubella is measles, mumps, and rubella is like a classic vaccination trio.
It's another English.
I'm pretty sure they have rubella in the US.
Never heard of it. That's a word I've
It's probably because people take their fucking vaccine.
Weird. I mean, people have measles these days. Anyway, before we get too political, you would dock up. You would dock up in the Riverside docks. Can we please make a vehicle handling check?
Oh Lord. Okay.
I shall assist you this time.
Sure. Small fishing boats dominate, but occasionally a barge from Moonhaven stops to pick up cargo. It's just a big set of docks.
Am I still like a laugh?
Yes.
I guess I thought of something that Barty would have done in those days. Marky would have just given you a report on whatever you missed.
Barty
would have done.
Oh God, I said bye, didn't I?
It's been like 4 years since you first started playing Barty. It's been a couple of years since you finished. 2.5, I think.
Well, I guess you have a vision then, and it informs you of everything.
It turns out this is the skeleton of Barty.
This feline person with a frying pan in his hand.
Just don't have a tailbone anymore.
So as a Goliath, obviously I have a far better view of the dock area, so that'll give me a bonus to dock, I imagine.
So I'm assisting you, so you've got advantage anyway.
Yeah, you've already
Maybe that's why you're bad at it, because your height is changing all the time. You have
your
a really hard time understanding.
You're right, different distances apart every time.
It's very confusing. I suppose, strictly speaking, every time he changes, his vision would change. So
sometimes you're nearsighted, sometimes you're long-sighted.
This drawer full of sets of glasses. Nope.
For a ship that is constructed the way that ours is, where we have magic to connect levers and things to the rudder and all the sails and stuff, We don't need a rear position for the helm. We should put it at the front like it's a big train or truck or something, shouldn't
Yeah.
we?
That's right. So you can
Probably.
see over the.
There you go. Permanent advantage if we do that.
There we go. That's better. That's 23.
23. You dock perfectly fine with advantage. As you're getting closer and closer, the two of them are looking over both edges, just like, no, hold up. And you're perfectly fine as you park the boat.
Before we end the episode, I pull the fireball gem out and just toss it.
The docks are close to the bridge, to the west of the bridge, so you'd be able to unlock and fairly easily get into
So does that mean
town.
that I can walk across to there and then go, Captain on the bridge? On that.
And if you want,
No.
I think that would be funny if you did that.
I think so.
You just got to remember.
I'm
to
sure
do it
you
next
would.
week.
and because I enjoy these sorts of things, I will give. Actually, no. Roll a history, Pesto. This will determine whether or not you get the little bit of extra information.
What kind of dice is a pesto?
It's very green.
No, a history pesto is a kind of dish they serve in this area.
Now, see, I already know the extra bit of information, so can I just know it?
I don't think you necessarily do know the extra bit of information.
I do, because you told me.
That is, you're assuming that I'm going to tell you that.
That you told.
You're so right. Wait, what was I rolling?
History.
History.
That's a 9?
A 9.
What's
you
my
don't.
history like?
You haven't been here before.
Dang.
History. I rolled 14.
Cool.
You will remember parking the boat so well.
Yeah, exactly.
You will.
He's only having me roll because I was in this area for a while.
Yeah. So you don't get the extra piece of information, but I'm sure you'll get it next time. You successfully got lots of items.
Yippee!
Yay.
We finally left those fucking catacombs that we've been in forever.
We were only in them for
1
3
episode.
sessions.
I mean, parts of 3 sessions. The end of
Yeah.
one, the full of another, and then just the beginning
Yeah.
of this one.
yeah.
So,
I'd have said you could round it up to 2, but it wasn't in there very long.
It felt like we were in there longer than we had to be.
Because of all
But,
the
like,
gaps.
That's
Yeah,
probably because we
We
usually
were.
do
We could have
everything
just left
longer.
when we killed the thing.
Yeah, but then
But
we
I
wouldn't have gotten 6
enticed
magic
with
items.
Items,
Yeah.
exactly.
Items, all the fun
I said
items.
we were in there exactly as long as we needed to.
True.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Judy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then.
Could be wrong. I'm about due. It's that time of the year.
Oh, to be wrong?
I don't believe that for a moment. I think you're wrong there.
Ah, there it is. You were
Nailed
wrong
it.
about being wrong.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Everyone
there
get
we
ready
go.
for another 6 months of fact.
I did.
Unadulterated fact.